Morning folks, Andy here and welcome back on board the Tent Kid. We'll do a bit more in this engine bay today. So I'm going to put a new steel bulkhead in across here, which eventually I will build up to the roof, and then we'll have a steel bulkhead all the way across and all the way up, apart from the door on this left side. So that's going to be the way in, and then from that I'll put steel across between the bulkhead and that back of the engine there, the steel, and then platform will go on there, and then all that side will become storage. I'll put cupboards in and things like that for storage. So, and down here between the two bulkheads, the new one and the existing one that's in, that'll be a battery tray made in there, so the batteries will be down there. And the idea I'm doing that is I want a steel bulkhead in all the way up anyway, but should that leak, those skin tanks down the bottom of this side of that existing bulkhead, it's going to go wash all the way down the boat. We don't want that, all that stinking water, that'll just go down the boat, and I'll clean it all out. It should be a mega event to do. So if it's another steel bulkhead there, everything, should any leak go between those two skin tanks, everything's contained in there. It'll be watertight, so it serves two purposes really. We'll get the bulkhead in to separate the engine from the boat, and also prevents any leaks and whatever going down there, and builds a nice strong tray for the batteries to go in. So that's what I'm doing it for. So right, let's get on with the paint off and the crud off of the weld area now. We can't weld with all that lot on, so I'm going to use the plaster and get that off. Job of that, clean all them sides on the bottom and on that side, so we get a quick wipe down, and then that'll be okay for the plate to be welded onto. So we'll get on with it. Right, I'm going to use this the 240 volt welding generator inverter. Does stick and MIG. Use it a lot, this, using the workshop. It's a great little set if you're not doing really heavy stuff, go under that, but for this type of work it's ideal. And you can use the normal mild steel or stainless wires, anything like that, with the argon gases, the appropriate gases, or you can use the inner shield wire, which is what I've got today, so I don't need a gas with it. So, but what you have to do is turn it over to DC negative for the electrode, whereas most weldings the electrode's DC positive. So on welding sets you just have to swap these over, swap your wire over to the other connector. That's it, simple as that. Right, we'll put the wire on. So we've got a 0.8 in the shield wire. So within that 0.8 of a millimetres of wire, there's a flux, because you've got to protect the weld area one way with either a flux or a gas. So welds up, you know, the weld area has to be protected, the metals have to be protected from the atmosphere. So so this flux cord wire does the same as a gas, as in shielding the weld from the atmosphere, because if you don't, it won't work. It's just all porosity, which is what you don't want in your weld. You couldn't actually weld properly, it just wouldn't work. And there we have the wire spinning off the reel, and it will appear here. Here it's done. Caught up in the tip, so we'll just have to flatten that off. We'll put the tip back on then. Got the wrong size tip, that's a 0.6 tip. That is the box of consumables for the welders. That's it, that's a 0.8 tip. So feeds through okay now. We'll put the nozzle back on. You don't actually need them on if you're using flux core, you can just weld with it like that. But I prefer to put that on because at least it protects all this area from any splatter. And because that's for the gas when you're using gas argon for welding. So we'll put this, we'll save this tip. There's nothing wrong with the tip, just different size, smaller diameter wire. Oh, I've also got to swap the feed roller round to the 0.8 wire. That's on the 0.8 already.
Alright, no Nick.
That's it, we're good to go. She fires up. To get the earth on somewhere. That's it. So we just need to get that set for this appropriate, get the appropriate setting for the steel thickness, and if you're welding uphill or downhand or whatever, you have to alter the settings, so we'll get that done. Right, we're all set to go now. The plates that are going in, could have been one plate all the way across, which ideally it would have been, but they're offcuts from the new boat we're building, so they're about that size and or height, so I'm just using bits up, so it makes more sense than just buying a sheet of steel when we've got offcuts. All we do is fix them together, you know, weld them up. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going to fix these together and get them in position, and we'll weld them up. Right, what I'm going to do here is on both ends is cut a taper from sort of 10mm at the bottom to nothing at the top, because those sides actually fall back, so they're tapered. So I've got to cut this so it snugs up, so I've got not a great big gap for trying to weld up. So I'm just going to cut these now. Right folks, trim the steel down a bit so it sits up. I've got it in parallel with the other bulkhead, and it's square, so it's plumb. So I'm going to get it welded in now, so I'll start tack it up a few places, and then we'll have it welded up. You see some good fumes coming off of that. See, I've ground it off the plate. There's still some zinc on it, but the weld's fine. Right, I've got that plate so far in, and my bumming my air stream welding arm, it's just run out of power. I can't have charged it up. I put it on last night, but I can't have put the switch on, charged it up. So I'm going to get the next plate ready. So I need to trim the bottom off of this, because it's 20mm below there, and notch it so it goes up to the hole, and then that'll be welded in along there, and then it'll go up to the roof when I get some more plates. So I'll be able to do it with what we're not using on what's left over from the other boat, actually, just using offcuts up. So we do it that way, it's cheap, innit? So right, we're going to cut that out and get that in. So back up and running, got the Airstream helmet powered up again, the battery's charged, so we'll get this tacked in and get some weld on it. Right, we'll carry on for a little bit without the air. Right, that's it for today, because the old head bag there is just steaming up. I can't see to weld, it's just misting up, so there's no air coming through it, you know, so it's all enclosed with the sort of the material guard underneath and what have you. That protects you from the rays, but it does seal the helmet up quite a bit, and hence it steams up, it's mist through breathing. So we'll call it a day with that one. Can't do much more today. So anyway, at least them bits are in, and get some more steel, and we'll carry on and get it up to the top. So I'll see you after you all, and hope you enjoy the videos, and please like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. And anyway, that's it now. 2 out.